Welcome back to Prey, guys. We're in the Arboretum. We took down Caspar, we removed Daws and Euromods. Now we're going to go and talk to Alex. How much more this is going to reveal, I don't know, but they're all hiding something. You're a friendly one, right?
Please contact a qualified engineer.
Because I hacked a few of the ones that were here. I don't know if there are still aggressive ones here. There's a phantom down below. Is he in here? He's watching. Recording check. Be pretty important right about now. Where is he? Is he behind here? No. He is not. Oh, he's upstairs. Is he upstairs? No. No. Alex? Oh my god, it's actually him.
I promised you my arming cape. All I ask is you hear me out first. And you can blow Talos I to pieces if that's what you think is best. I don't think you'll do it. I know. Because I used to think we couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down. But you convinced me. You showed me anything was possible, even if the price was steep. That part of you is still in there. We can make history, Morgan. Not those leeches on the TranStar board of directors, not Mom and Dad. You and I. Just like we planned. We've got the data to confirm what you suspected. And Carl is broadcasting a neural signal. A secret message reaching to the stars. What I want to know is what is the message? And who is listening to it? I think you know. Ever since we first tested the Typhon neuromods, you've known. This fabrication plan is for the null-wave device prototype you conceived. It will hijack the Carl signal and use it to deliver a massive shock to every Typhon organism at once. Take it. And the army key, like I What? Morgan!
What? What the hell is this? Dude, give me that key.
Morgan.
Where is
We're
he?
in life support now. It's all clear. Air's normal across the board. I lost some good people fighting the black boxes. And Dar
Oh, he's
wasn't
suffocated!
here. If you see him before I do, make him pay. Elazar out.
Well, here we are. Hopefully you'll never have to listen to this recording, but if you do, then something unfortunate's happened to me. I suspect you've seen enough by now to abandon the notion of destroying Talos I. I've always been the one who thought we couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down. But you convinced me that we could do anything we imagined. No matter how ridiculous. I hope you still believe that. If not, then I'm glad I died before seeing my sister succumb to pessimism. We have the data to confirm what you suspected. The Carl is broadcasting a neural signal. A secret message reaching out to the stars. What I want to know is what is the message? And who is is listening to it? I have a feeling you already know. I'm carrying a fabrication plan for the prototype null-wave device you conceived. Make one, then place it at the heart of the coral. We will hijack the coral's signal and use it to deliver a massive shock to every Typhon organism at once. Good luck, Morgan. I just regret I won't be at your side to see it happen.
God, a lot is going on. I need to listen to that again.
Well, here we are. Hopefully you'll never have to listen to this recording, but if you do, then something unfortunate's happened to me. I suspect you've seen enough by now to abandon the notion of destroying Talos I. I've always been the one who thought we couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down. But you convinced me that we could do anything we imagined. No matter how ridiculous. I hope you still believe that. If not, then I'm glad I died before seeing my sister succumb to pessimism. We have the data to confirm what you suspected. The coral is broadcasting a neural signal. A secret message reaching out to the stars. What I want to know is what is the message, and who is listening to it. I have a feeling you already know. I'm carrying a fabrication plan for the prototype null-wave device you conceived. Make one, then place it at the heart of the coral. We will hijack the coral's signal and use it to deliver a massive shock to every Typhon organism at once. Good luck, Morgan. I just regret I won't be at your side to see it happen.
Oh man, I don't know what to do. Well, I've got an idea of what to do, but we've not got his arming key, have we? We got the fabrication plan. Oh no, we've got his arming key. Right, we've got both arming keys. We've got 8 neuromods. An account of Fermi's question. Excerpt from a book on the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence by Dr. Robert James III. Consider that there are billions of stars in the galaxy like our sun, many of them far older. Some of these stars will have Earth-like planets, some of these planets will have developed intelligent life. Some intelligent life may develop interstellar travel. If a civilization began before ours, it seems possible... Oh no, an account. I thought it was a follow-up. Sorry. Transcribe.
Okay. So my voice is obviously familiar. Probably sound more tired than usual. It's been never-ending. Setting up the rooms and protocols to test the new mods. The risk is substantial, but if we succeed, copying neural networks from the Typhon onto human minds is going to change everything. So, I'm putting myself in the sim. I've done everything I can to make sure I don't wind up lobotomized. One last safety measure. Let me introduce October. Say hello. Hello, Dr. Yu. October will help you remember what you're supposed to do if things go sideways. Once testing starts, there's no going back. When they uninstall the mods and reset the test, it'll rewind me. I'll forget everything. Theoretically, they could keep me reliving the same day over and over, and I'd never know. If you're listening to this, that's probably what happened. It also means I don't know if I can trust my own brother. Alex won't like what I have to say next. I started plans for a prototype null wave strong enough to kill every Typhon on Talos I. I hid a copy of the plan on top of the data tower by the scary chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Alex agreed to explore the idea, but I know my brother. First sign of trouble, he'd rather blow it all up and blame someone else. So, you're probably on your own. There's a lot at stake here. Too late to stick our heads in the sand. You know what to do.
Okay. The music's stressing me out, sorry. I'm going to listen to that again as well, just because why not? So this seems like the null wave is the right
my
move.
voice is obviously familiar.
And who's
Probably
January
sound
then?
more tired than usual. It's been never ending. Setting up the rooms and protocols to test the new mods, the risk is substantial. But if we succeed, copying neural networks from the Typhon onto human minds is going to change everything. So, I'm putting myself in the sim. I've done everything I can to make sure I don't wind up lobotomized. One last safety measure. Let me introduce October. Say hello. Hello, Dr. Yu. October will help you remember what you're supposed to do if things go sideways. Once testing starts, there's no going back. When they uninstall the mods and reset the test, it'll rewind me. I'll forget everything. Theoretically, they could keep me reliving the same day over and over, and I'd never know. If you're listening to this, that's probably what happened. It also means I don't know if I can trust my own brother. Alex won't like what I have to say next. I started plans for a prototype null wave strong enough to kill every Typhon on Talos I. I hid a copy of the plan on top of the data tower by the scary chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Alex agreed to explore the idea, but I know my brother. First sign of trouble, he'd rather blow it all up and blame someone else. So, you're probably on your own. There's a lot at stake here. Too late to stick our heads in the sand. You know what to do.
Okay, so we've got October, we've got December, and we've got January. All three operators are recommending 3 different ways out. October will be to try and get us to move towards using the null wave. December wanted us to escape, and January wants us to blow the place up. From that transcribe, Morgan said that Alex will want to blow the place up to deflect responsibility for it, for whatever's happened. But that's not what Alex is now saying. He's come around to this other way of thinking. Saying that the fabrication plan for this null wave transmitter is on top of the server thing back in the Neuromod division, he already found that, right? And that's what we've got now. I don't want to fabricate the wrong thing, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So surely it means that the best thing to do is to use the correct thing to do to stop a Typhon invasion would be to use the null wave. And that January might be created by Alex before he came around to this idea to try and get us to blow up the station. That's my hunch. January maybe is someone we shouldn't, is the thing we maybe shouldn't be trusting, like the thing that's been closest to us and directing us all this time, perhaps. I'm not sure. That's what it feels like, that we should use the null wave and that will stop a potential Typhon invasion, whereas blowing the station up isn't really going to stop the Typhon fully. It's just going to deflect responsibility. Right, we've got Alex in his safe room. I don't know if he's dead. It said he was unconscious, so... Right, there is a hellish creature out here. So we've saved Alex, apparently.
Morgan, thank you for what you did. You could have left me to die. It's more important than ever now that we finish this the right way. Take care of the null wave device. I'll head for the bridge as soon as I catch my breath.
Okay, so there's still oxygen in here, apparently. It's just the gravity that's been disabled. Right, where do you want me to go? No, not to the escape pod. We need to fabricate it, right? So... closest fabricator would be down at the entrance to the guts, right? Which is in this direction. Where the hell is that creature? That big Marlborough. Oh, God. Oh no, it's not this way. Let's just use the escape pod, guys. Let's just get out of here. Yeah, I'm really not sure who to trust. I don't think at this point Alex would be telling us porky pies, you know? I really don't think so. Oh, jeez.
As a reminder, all personnel must complete monthly
The hell,
physicals
dude?
during their stay aboard Talos I. Dr. DeVries
Stay away from me,
promises to make
snake.
them as quick and painless as possible.
Ow, 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 what the hell? Oh, burn trauma. I've got no skin graft kits. I didn't see the fire, sorry. Come on. A tendril. An apex tendril. Unable to connect to Psychotronics database. No entries found. Morgan's notes. A tiny part of the apex, intent on devouring everything in its path. Attracted to movement. No way to permanently kill these. Use a null wave or a Q-beam to beat them back. Got you. Did that kill it? Nope. It's just going to keep respawning. Oh no, I've gone the wrong way. Oh, we don't want to go to the guts. Right, where's the fire? Right. Where's the nearest fabricator then? No. Yeah, that's where we've just been. That's the shuttle. Nearest fabricator. Unless we go back to our office. Yeah, let's just go to the... Yeah. Oh! Tendrils! Which way are we going? Where's the lift? Yeah, this way. Alright, that's not good. We can't get to the lobby then. So, do we have to go through the guts? Should we try a null wave? Nothing. Sorry, this music, guys, is really headache-inducing. How can we get to a fabricator? Oh wait, this isn't the lift. The lift isn't here. That's deep storage. Which way is the lift? Why can't I remember my way around at this stage? Not the bridge. Oh yeah, of course it's this way. Sorry guys, I completely went the wrong way. Let's go, Jesus. So I don't know if gravity's going to be gone on the entire station. Seems likely, I guess, because there's been like, oh no, maybe it's just the arboretum. It's probably it's probably designed in layers, right? But we're going to have to fight that giant Marlborough thing.
Morgan, you anticipated the kind of appeal Alex would make. Sibling bonds, history. You programmed me to refute him point by point. However, we can skip that. A typhon the size of a skyscraper is currently eating Talos I for lunch. Ergo, Alex is wrong. Destroy the station, just as you planned. The blast will take the monster down with it.
Destroy the station? But didn't you hear him? The null way. Alex is correct. It could work and preserve what we have learned here. We have to try.
Igwe, look at the alien outside the station.
Of course it's a risk, but we've seen the generator work. To destroy all this, to murder a species, and the research lost. It's...
January's right, Morgan. We can't let these things get back to Earth, even if one of them hit Earthside.
Morgan, please. Destroying the station should be the last option, not the first.
It's just it's the words of from our own mouth, right? I know that I don't know who's programmed January. That's the problem here. Because there's been October, there's been December, and now there's been January. So January is the third iteration. But who programmed it? I mean, would Alex be sticking to his deception to use the null-wave transmitter? And just the fact that it's the thing that's throwing me is that Morgan said Alex will want to blow up the station, but he's changed his mind, obviously. I don't know, man. I'm a bit of a contrarian by nature, so like I'm just arguing back and forth in my head, and just about who to trust, because the fact that Morgan said about October, this is what's bothering me.
So my voice is obviously familiar. Probably sound more tired than usual. It's been never ending. Setting up the rooms and protocols to test the new mods, the risk is substantial. But if we succeed, copying neural networks from the Typhon onto human minds is going to change everything. So, I'm putting myself in the sim. I've done everything I can to make sure I don't wind up lobotomized. One last safety measure. Let me introduce October. Say hello. Hello, Dr. Yu. October will help you remember what you're supposed to do if things go sideways. Once testing starts, there's no going back. When they uninstall the mods and reset the test, it'll rewind me. I'll forget everything. Theoretically, they could keep me reliving the same day over and over, and I'd never know. If you're listening to this, that's probably what happened. It also means I don't know if I can trust my own brother. Alex won't like what I have to say next. I started plans for a prototype null wave strong enough to kill every Typhon on Talos I. I hid a copy of the plan on top of the data tower by the scary chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Alex agreed to explore the idea, but I know my brother. First sign of trouble, he'd rather blow it all up and blame someone else. So, you're probably on your own. There's a lot at stake here. Too late to stick our heads in the sand. You know what to do.
Don't know what to do, man. I just feel like if Alex had programmed January as a deceptive thing to get us to blow up the station, he probably would have told us if he's being upfront. They're lying to you. I just... my head is bait. It's cake. I'm completely caked. My head is caked, man. We probably don't even have enough mineral material to fabricate anything, right? Do we, Hendrik? Let's go to the lobby. Uh-oh. We're gonna need to run. Move, Morgan. Jeez. Let's get to our office.
Привет, Morgan.
Привет.
We don't have much time, Morgan. Morgan?
I'm not sure I trust you. I don't trust anyone anymore. Ah, jeez. We picked up a few spare guns, right? We'll get mineral materials out of them. We don't even need this one either, do we? To be fair. As long as we keep Artemis's pistol. Right, let's craft it. God, we only have just about enough.
The heart of the coral is in psychotronics, in the original containment cylinder.
Yeah.
Placing the null wave device there will override the entire coral network with our own signal. Use your psychoscope to locate the exact spot.
This is it. Either you destroy Talos I, or that creature destroys us.
I don't think it's that simple, right? What the hell? What does that say? Is this just nonsense? Sorry, I'm trying to read this. I don't know if it's nonsense. It's just nothing about this is cut and dry, is it? You got anything else to say, January? Not sure I trust you. Can we hack January? Reactor console or the heart of the coral. Or Alex's escape pod. I'm tempted by that, to be fair. I'll use those neuromods shortly. Sorry guys, I'm going to re-listen again to a few of these.
Once things get as bad as I think they probably are, your only option is to escape. Get the word out about what's happening on Talos I. Alex has a private escape pod. It's locked up. I made a copy of the key and hid it on top of the data tower near the chair. You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, she hit it in the same place each
Listen,
time.
there's more at stake this time than just us, or this station. If just one of those creatures made it back home, then we're lost. I keep having this dream. I'm just staring into the black between the stars. There's something there. I know there is. I just can't see it. But it sees me. I can feel it. Hate us. I know you know what I'm talking about. Or you will soon.
Yeah, so like a Typhon invasion. But will the null wave... I feel like the null wave would be a more permanent solution to stopping them, as opposed to blowing up the station. I don't think blowing up the station is going to stop an impending invasion from beyond.
Well, here we are. Hopefully you'll never have to listen to this recording, but if you do, then something unfortunate's happened to me. I suspect you've seen enough by now to abandon the notion of destroying Talos I. I've always been the one who thought we couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down. But you convinced me that we could do anything we imagined. No matter how ridiculous. I hope you still believe that. If not, then I'm glad I died before seeing my sister succumb to pessimism. We have the data to confirm what you suspected. The coral is broadcasting a neural signal. A secret message reaching out to the stars. What I want to know is what is the message, and who is listening to it. I have a feeling you already know. I'm carrying a fabrication plan for the prototype null wave device you conceived. Make one, then place it at the heart of the coral. We will hijack the coral's signal and use it to deliver a massive shock to every Typhon organism at once. Good luck, Morgan. I just regret I won't be at your side to see it happen.
Okay, so my voice is obviously familiar. Probably sound more tired than usual. It's been never-ending. Setting up the rooms and protocols to test the new mods, the risk is substantial. But if we succeed, copying neural networks from the Typhon onto human minds is going to change everything. So, I'm putting myself in the sim. I've done everything I can to make sure I don't wind up lobotomized. One last safety measure. Let me introduce October. Say hello. Hello, Dr. Yu. October will help you remember what you're supposed to do if things go sideways. Once testing starts, there's no going back. When they uninstall the mods and reset the test, it'll rewind me. I'll forget everything. Theoretically, they could keep me reliving the same day over and over, and I'd never know. If you're listening to this, that's probably what happened. It also means I don't know if I can trust my own brother. Alex won't like what I have to say next. I started plans for a prototype null wave strong enough to kill every Typhon on Talos I. I hid a copy of the plan on top of the data tower by the scary chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Alex agreed to explore the idea, but I know my brother. First sign of trouble, he'd rather blow it all up and blame someone else. So, you're probably on your own. There's a lot at stake here. Too late to stick our heads in the sand. You know what to do.
It's just right. So, like, all Alex Morgan has came up with several contingencies at several different points in time when her memory had been wiped several times. So we have Morgan from before she started going through all the simulations, whose contingency was the operator October, who was to try and get us to use the null wave, right? And then after she'd been through a lot of cycles, she came up with another contingency, which was the December operator. The contingency there was to use Alex's escape pod to just escape, go back to Earth and escape the station. And then after that, the contingency was January, whose directive was to get us to blow up the station. Morgan, in that one, before she started the simulation, believed that Alex would want to blow up the station and not take responsibility for anything going drastically wrong. So that's like a kind of weird contradiction. The video of us with Alex is and the memories of the operators working on us and the thing saying that we're being lied to. It's in shock. It's just, but who's giving us those messages? Because we've been using the Typhon neuromods. Is there some sort of Typhon influence in our thinking? The whole they're lying to you, but who is they? They're lying to you. That could mean Alex and Igwe, or it could mean January. I really don't know what the right thing is to do here. I feel like I've missed something. Do we have any... No, sorry. I was just seeing any Morgan news.
Alex! Damn it. Hold on. I'm encrypting the rest of this. Okay. Dr. Cole already wiped the recording of Morgan's breakdown off his computer. The last copy is hidden in his office. I'm not going back. You'll have to get it yourself. ACBAC. Good luck.
It's just, the thing that's bothering me is like the discrepancy of Morgan saying Alex will want to blow up the station, and then thinking back to what we saw in Alex's office with Morgan saying, you know, we'd, you know, we need to listen to Alex and stuff, and the flashbacks we've seen from interacting with the coral. But I guess the question is, when we're interacting with the coral, what are we actually seeing? Are we seeing our own memories, or are we seeing something from within the coral? So if we're seeing something within the coral, that's the Typhon mind. The Typhon mind is showing us something we want to see that would, you know, it's trying to, it might be trying to manipulate us to do what the Typhon want. So if it's trying to make us see Alex as an enemy, and that he's lying to us, don't let them do this to you. We know that the Typhon can maybe throw things back at us, impersonate, perhaps. It keeps memories of people's voices in there. Maybe they're trying to stop us from using the null wave, and I don't know. I don't think blowing up the station is going to kill all the Typhon. Because if there's more Typhon elsewhere, it's not just blowing up the station isn't going to destroy them, right? They're still going to arrive. Whereas the null wave might reach them, which is what I feel. I feel like we should... You could probably tell I'm leaning towards using the null wave. Alright guys, what I just want to do, I'm just gonna just pause here for a second. I'm just gonna go and listen to the video of Alex and Morgan that we saw in Alex's office. I'm just gonna go listen to that, because we can't listen to that here because it was on the looking glass in his office. So I'm just gonna go back and listen to that. I'll be back with you in a second. Alright, sorry guys, yeah, I mean, it just sort of reaffirms. What? What objective? Have I glitched the game out? Anyway. Yeah, it just reaffirms that Morgan is the one that's come up with the null wave. I'm just worried that, you know, there's some form of impersonation of me here. What I think I'd like to do, I'd just maybe, if I could get there, is to go to the Neuromod division and check the top of that server or that console next to the scary chair, as Morgan's been calling it, just in case there's anything extra there. Because I know that's where she left all her secret plans. I've got 8 Neuromods. I'm sure it's annoying someone that I'm not spending them, so... increase stamina... increase wrench... or psychoscope mods. Are there any psychoscopes that we really want? Most of them are for psi abilities. There's nothing we really want from that. Let's just get the wrench stuff. Yeah, why not? Right.
Dr. Cole would like to
Right.
encourage anyone
We're gonna try and
experiencing
run
symptoms of disturbed sleep, chronic
to the
stress,
Neuromod
or
division.
anxiety to schedule an appointment in the trauma center.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, can't go that way. There's a way through here, right? Right, let's just go here quickly. I know that this technopath's probably still here, but just let me check. I know that Morgan said that she hid their things there over and over again, and Alex has probably found all of them, but I don't think I've checked it, have I? So, on top of the console, in the room with the scary chair.
If the idea hasn't occurred to you, I'm sure it will eventually. Don't do it. I can't predict what would happen if you scan the apex, but all my models point to suffering.
Don't scan the apex.
Scan complete. More specimens required.
Goddamn technopath. I don't think I can fix it, can I? Crap. We need something to cure bleed, right? That's the trauma. Hemorrhage. And we're drunk. I didn't realise. Coagulating gel. Yeah, we can't get in there. Leave me alone! Is there a medical operator in here? God damn it. Yeah, there is a medical bay in the volunteer testing bit. Alright.
Warning. Vital signs critical.
Stop it! Where was the med bay? Oh, damn it, I went the wrong way. Come on, Dr. Igwe was just here.
Requesting new operator.
Is Igwe still there?
Transstar Pyramid 490 medical class operator ready.
Diagnosing. I'm seeing irregular lacerations across multiple regions. Hemorrhaging. I'll have you feeling better soon. All done. You can fill out a service questionnaire at the front desk.
Sorry, guys. Oh, dear me. Right, we need to go to Psychotronics. The easiest way to Psychotronics is via the lobby. Is it locked, though? No, just the airlock that you can't get to. Right. Right, we're healed up at least. Alright guys, this is it. I think I'm going to go for the null wave. I don't know. I just don't think we can necessarily trust Morgan. Come on. Just... Come on. This is so upsetting. Mr. Tendril.
Research complete.
Thank you. Yeah, it didn't really give us any more information. Right, excuse me. What the hell's going on? Oh. Psychotronics, please. That's down there. Let's hack into this. Sorry. Oh, nice. Nice. We should have done it a long time ago, but let's upgrade the stun. Yep. More power. Something needed repairing. Was it the Q-beam? Yeah. Everything else is more or less okay. 4 more neuromods. I mean, great. Get a couple more for maximum wrench, I guess. I hope I'm not making a massive mistake, guys. But I don't know if there's there'd be declarative good and bad endings like that. But I just don't think Alex could stay committed to any kind of weird manipulation or lie for this long, could he? Okay, let's make a save. Where are the cystoids? There's probably just unlimited cystoids, right? So, buddy. I guess if the Typhon are protecting this bit, maybe that's they don't want it damaged. Because it's more important. I don't know if I'm making a mistake, guys, but we've got to commit to some sort of decision, right?
Hello, nice to see you.
Right, we know where we need to go. Cystoids everywhere, dude. Turret's taking care of business down there, man. I don't know if we're doing the right thing, but I'm never going to be sure. I'm never going to be sure. Unless I Google it, I'm never going to be sure. Which I'm obviously not going to do. Dude, come on. Here we are, guys. Where's the cystoid? Oh, the little one. There's another nest. It's okay, Flexiform Bolts. I will save you. Alright guys, I don't care how long this episode is if we're getting towards the end. Oh man. I think I've explained myself. I'm not sure who to trust, but I think blowing up the station is a stopgap.
Gravity detected.
I feel like this might be a riskier but more permanent way of keeping them away. Where are these nests? Tag them, please. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry if this is stupid, guys, but this is what we're doing.
Kill them.
Adrenaline. And another dose of Morgan's cell lines. Do it. That should do it. Come to the bridge. We can finish this thing once and for all.
Assume Alex's plan succeeds. Then what? You're taking a massive gamble that there aren't more predators like the Typhon. In the history of the universe, humans have only recently become self-aware. Yet you're going to kick the door open on a much wider and older cosmic ecology. One that feeds on consciousness. These are shark-infested waters. Alex believes we can be the bigger shark, but what if we're just poor swimmers? And now there's blood in the water.
Yeah, but this isn't Alex's plan, this is our plan. Oh, go to the bridge.
Hello. You probably didn't see me there.
This again. I'm trapped. Thanks, game, for putting a science operator in the grab shaft.
Should I change position?
Please? Alright guys, this is the real ending to the game. Morgan, you gets trapped in the gravity shaft and nothing can be done. I've gotten stuck in one of these before and it kind of kicked me out after long enough.
Should I change position?
Please change position. This is an existential nightmare. Quick load, please. Dear me. It's only happened once or twice doing that. What? Are you serious, dude? Okay, had to just go and place the null wave back. Is the science operator still there? Please don't glitch again. No! Oh, what? I can't finish the game, guys. The science operator's blocking me. I don't think there's a quick way down either. Is there a way down? We're literally stuck here. I've got no EMPs. How?
Hello. Good to
There might be a way.
Dr. Yu.
Come with me. Maybe we won't be big enough. Ha Screw you, science operator. Alright, so let me check I'm actually resume recording. Yeah. Alright. There's a poltergeist in here. Okay, that's not what I meant. I went the wrong way. Leave me alone, poltergeist. I don't have time for your shenanigans. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think either choice is particularly good. I think whichever one we do, I think the Typhon could end up coming to Earth anyway. As with the quest that we learned from the bridge last time, Earth might already have Typhon material on it. So Earth might be screwed regardless. Right? Right, where are we? We're back in the lobby. Yep. Alright. So we need to get to the Arboretum to get to the bridge. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go. I don't necessarily trust Alex, but I don't think he's lying to us anymore about, at least about what the aim of the null wave is. We're the ones who came up with this plan, not him. He is, like he said, he's just following the plan we gave him. I need to stop thinking that everyone's like double bluffing and lying at this point. The whole station is falling apart. Both plans probably have their merits. Yeah. Both plans probably have their merits. But I think if we're potentially going to have to fight the Typhon, we might need all the stuff that we've learned, right? We might have, stepped so far over the boundaries of, the safety of Earth that there really is no coming back. What the hell kind of position are we in? Right, we need to get to the bridge. Which is this way, right? Leave me alone, Tendril. Yeah, I mean, both plans involve killing the Typhon, right? It's just the preservation of the station and the research, maybe? I mean, I could be wrong about that. I mean, the research might be backed up back on Earth, so it doesn't, it doesn't matter. And we've hopefully saved people. Actually, wait, Igwe and Thingy.
Morgan, Igwe, what's the update on our patient?
Commander Dahl is making a speedy recovery, and we are making our way to the shuttle bay. I've informed him of the threat to the station, and...
Fine, Morgan, I'll meet you in the shuttle bay.
What? Got the torch off. Who are you?
What the hell have you done?
I've simply acted on Morgan's orders.
Nonsense. You're a machine. An ill-conceived one. Morgan would never...
Morgan,
Your operators locked me out of the comm terminal. We need to link up to the null wave device if we're gonna get that signal off before it's too late.
consider the risk. Alex's plan, if it works, is only a short-term solution. None of us has the right to endanger every life on Earth.
If anyone's playing God here, it's you. Your lunatic plan denies everyone a birthright to the stars.
You know how neuromods are made. The demand will only increase. In the future Alex envisions, many will die for the benefit of a privileged few.
I'm not arguing with a glorified desktop. Kill it, Morgan.
Sorry, Morgan. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. You'll have to destroy me. Which means you'll be destroying yourself.
Oh no.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Hey, chill out.
I'm sorry, Morgan. I didn't want to harm your brother. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos I and all the Typhon. Detonating the station safeguards the Earth, and perhaps provides a small measure of reparation. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. If you want to activate the null wave, you'll have to kill me.
Can we just hack her?
Give the order to detonate. Captain Mark's terminal.
I mean, this isn't about preserving the business of neuromods or anything. I just feel like a Typhon invasion, if you will, or Typhon contact with Earth has probably already happened by now. Or, you know, there's been some sort of contact. I don't want to have to kill January, but... Sorry, Alex. Oh, this is an annoying way to do this, but I guess that was the point, right? I guess the problem is, so if Morgan wanted to blow up the station in whatever state she was in after looking at all the research and everything and just...
Morgan, I don't know if you've seen, but there is alien matter ripping through the hull. You have to move. Боже мой. Every window in this station. It's engulfing the place. It's everywhere.
January's on very low health, so it's only going to take a little bit, right? I feel like we need to deploy the null wave. I feel like the research should be preserved, not the business of neuromods, but I don't think that blowing up the station is going to stop any kind of Typhon invasion from coming, right? It's not going... Blowing the station up isn't going to... Wherever the Typhon are from, it's not going to stop those Typhon from coming here. It's not going to stop the connection that they've got to this solar system or whatever. It just kind of covers up the research that we've been doing that needs to be exposed by Michaela.
Give the order to detonate. Captain Mark's terminal.
Like, I don't like what Alex said about we shouldn't deny our place amongst the stars and everything. Maybe I've got the motivations a bit wrong, perhaps. Is this kind of like misguided ambition that Morgan wanted to do this for? Both of these are short-term solutions, right? I don't think doing either of these things is going to stop the Typhon ultimately. Can we wake him up at least? Right. Sorry, January. Let's do it, guys. Oh, it worked.
What is
Kind
a
of.
neuromod? Well, it's both an easy answer and a complicated one at the same time.
Is that the
It is
shuttle?
the future, today. More importantly, our past, today. This is the work TranStar does. Every employee working together. It's immortality. And it is beautiful.
Oh, man. It worked then. Alright, let's let these credits roll. See if there's any... I feel like it was quite abrupt. Sorry you have to do that to January, but I didn't really have a choice, did I? I didn't think the ending would be framed that way, and I didn't think the ending would be quite so quick. But we got rid of the Typhon. I don't want to skip anything in case there are... just how the outbreak happens. There's a phantom. This might be like someone's laptop that they left on or something. Right? We're gonna see us walking. Just blasting a shotgun everything. Oh, that's a Weaver. Oh, it's the Weaver's creating phantoms. There's the nightmare. There's something so satisfying about watching AI fight it out, right? But, yeah. I don't know if what we did was the right thing, but, you know, I don't know what's happened to Morgan, though. What happened to us afterwards? Did we just get on the shuttle with everyone? And game credits are always very long, but I don't want to skip in case there's some sort of post-credits thing here. It's the ultimate fear, right? Okay. I can't remember if this song got me copyright claimed last time. Never mind. Now entering a hidden location. LGV 3.5.
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was dreaming, and nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise, and later it recovered the Lightner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind, or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Da. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos I.
Michaela.
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And
Or a
then,
Typhon.
I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then, there was a man in psychotronics, Ingram.
Would you let it live?
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
Yeah.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help, and it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station. That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dar's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. There were a lot of humans controlled by the Typhon that it could have harmed. Seems like it went out of its way to avoid that. I think it's worth the risk.
In the end, it chose to activate the null-wave device. Why? To preserve the Typhon technology? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we have to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something.
So we're not a real human then. We're some sort of hybrid Typhon human. And this entire game has been a simulation.
What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories.
Oh, Morgan was a real person.
Is the world today. We spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do.
Kill them all? Why would I kill them all? Let's take his hand.
We're gonna shake things up, like old times.
Wow, that's a really. I didn't see that coming. I mean, I was right about the Sarah Elazar's voice in those flashbacks. Fascinating. Interesting that they all spoke about the decisions we made about saving people and stuff. So it was Michaela, Sarah, Igwe, Deo Igwe, and Danielle Shaw. Michaela, can I remember all their names? Full names? Michaela Ilyushin, Deo Igwe, Sarah Elazar, and Danielle Shaw. Yeah. That's proof I didn't change the difficulty at any point, guys. Right there, lowest difficulty, hard. Right, total campaign time 38 hours. 12 humans rescued, only 1 human killed, which was probably the imposter cook. Installed 169 neuromods. Human abilities acquired 41, and only Typhon. Yeah, Igwe said I installed multiple alien abilities. I only installed 1. Wow. I didn't see that coming, did I, guys? I usually spit out a load of weird predictions, and yeah, I didn't. I mean, obviously, I kind of looked at those flashbacks with the machines we were getting. We were coming out of the simulation temporarily when we interacted with the coral, because we're a Typhon organism, or we're a hybrid now. And that's it. Wow. Wow. Got New Game Plus, Moon Crash, yeah. Right, guys. I'll be back in a second. I'm just gonna. I'll make a few notes. We'll have a little review and discussion about the game. So I'll be back with you in a second. Right, guys. That brings us to the end. So yeah, a lot of thoughts swirling around my head, but let's just talk about the ending first, because I mean we had a lot of hints. I guess we've had fairly minimal hints. Mostly they're directed through those cuts when we came into contact with the coral. I mean, maybe with the cameras that were always following us, maybe a bit of a clue. Was that the only way they were able to observe us in the simulation? Perhaps, I'm not sure. But yeah, fascinating ending. So yeah, Earth has already been taken over, or partly taken over, by the Typhon, and we're at war, I guess, and this is their way of trying to maybe bridge a gap or bridge peace, or gain an upper hand, was to capture this Typhon and insert neuromods into the Typhon, human neuromods, to try and make some sort of hybrid. And this whole experience where we've been thinking that we were Morgan Yu is actually like some kind of Turing test, right? I know that's not what a Turing test would do, but I guess it is kind of like a Turing test, but more centered on kind of empathy and you know, a care for other creatures, and that yeah, just like a kind of a different Typhon Turing test, where they're testing to see if we really have, if they have a similar kind of consciousness to the human race. And I guess we passed. I don't know if that probably means that all those particular characters, you know, Michaela, Danielle, Deo, and Sarah, are all dead, and they've had their consciousness put into those operators, and Alex is one of the only ones who survived. I don't know what that means actually happened to Morgan. Morgan probably died, and he was using memories from her brain, perhaps, that they'd uploaded or copied, and used them to merge with the Typhon that they'd captured. I don't know what kind of Typhon they would have captured, but yeah, I guess we helped as many people as we could, and I guess that kind of paid off. I don't think I was necessarily trying to be a goody two shoes and help everyone. It was just what I felt like doing, you know. But yeah, really interesting ending. I think it feels like a nice self-contained game. I don't think there's much of a sequel bait there at all. Yeah, and I think that's the best way of putting it. It's kind of like the Typhon version of a Turing test, right? And yeah, it's been a great experience, man. Bit longer than I was expecting, but you know, I'll be honest. Like, I found this game like quite overwhelming in general. Like, I don't think I was quite ready for all the freedom, if that makes sense, just in terms of the gameplay, you know. So I found it. I got through the early game struggle. It took a bit longer than I wanted, but I just don't play immersive sim. I don't know. If I do, then maybe I'm better with third-person games. But yeah, it just took a while to get used to it, and I think maybe some of the scientific principles that the game kind of structures itself on maybe went past me a little bit, because I feel like I'm good generally in games at trying to get a feel for the characters' stories and that kind of stuff, but sometimes some of the other systems maybe go over my head a little bit. Sorry for that if it was a bit frustrating at first, But you know, I really had to ease my way into this because I like things being hard, but you know, it can just take a while to get used to things. But eventually, I've really enjoyed it. The game just has. I've made some notes, so I'll just try and go through those. But like the big thing is just the variety in the gameplay, isn't it? Just the scope, that you can approach things your way. You can do things however you want, really. I'm sure that there were plenty of different weird approaches to puzzles, to just everything that I haven't even come close to figuring out. And like, you know, just little things like, you know, when I disabled the big spinning fan with the EMP, you guys said, oh, you were supposed to glue it up, and just little things like that where you just figure things out your own way. And yeah, I kind of find that a little bit overwhelming, but once you kind of get into it, right, and you start thinking a bit more laterally, and you don't always try and do the same things, I think you can get a bit, you can be guilty sometimes when you're playing a game. You get into a bit of a rhythm, don't you, of what you think the game expects you to do. Whereas with this, it doesn't really expect you to do anything. It just expects you to just get there somehow, and that's really empowering, right? I imagine multiple playthroughs of this game will be really fun. I imagine it has a lot of replay value, you know, whether you want to be like that kind of heavily modded Superman character kind of thing that I ended up being, who could, you know, lift heavy things, jump extremely high, run extremely fast, or you just wanted to go like full Typhon and transform into things and teleport and use like psychic powers and control things, or just they'll do like a hybrid. There were lots of different build varieties. I feel like games that I've played in the last few years, whether they were on the channel or not, I feel like they fell a bit guilty to they've been a bit guilty of doing that whole RPG light style system where, you know, like in a lot of really good games, like in Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War, the upgrade system, you just end up getting absolutely everything. Whereas in this, you really do kind of make a build, and that affects the way you play. And some stuff that isn't even within the tree is just you know, using the tools in the world. It's not even just about your abilities, but you know, you really only get enough neuromods probably to fill out 3 of the trees out of the 6. It did look like there was space for a third set, didn't it? I don't know if that's for New Game Plus. Excuse me. But yeah, there was just so many options. Real credit to the game designers. Yeah, maybe you guys can fill me in. Maybe there were some clues as to what happened to the real Morgan, or whether she ended up went through a similar scenario as us. I'm not sure. But they're based on Morgan's memory, so I imagine Morgan went through a very similar journey. But yeah, just the I guess you'd call it a semi-open world, because it's, you know, locked off into zones or rooms or levels. But the kind of semi-open world was beautiful, right? It had such nice verticality, and I don't know what you'd call it, being able to shrink and stuff, but you know, I can't imagine how difficult it is to make these kind of mazes with such verticality and different angles involved. It must be so difficult, you know, because I've played, you know, I really like the Souls games, and I really like that level design is kind of pulled back to a kind of more traditional, because you can't jump really, so it, you know, it has that very flat maze-like design, which works really well because it's tight. But on this kind of scale where there's just a million different angles, like, you just gain a new appreciation for the kind of design that goes into this kind of thing. So yeah, I have nothing but admiration for that. And the game was really beautiful, you know, whether we had a view of space from certain areas, like in the Arboretum, you know, certain areas were a bit more mechanical and cold, like in Deep Storage. You know, the Arboretum had all the beautiful plants, and it was quite a thing to behold when I wasn't getting jump scared constantly. it would be interesting if they would have done a section in the game where we got to explore some of it when it was peaceful. Do you know what I mean? Just so that we could have got to see this place full of humans at a certain point. Maybe if it was just one of the areas, a particularly beautiful area like the Arboretum, maybe if at the start of the game we got to see that and explore that, just that level before everything, went wrong. That might have been nice, just to have a bit more of a peaceful, hour in the game before everything started getting really dangerous. But, there were a lot of jump scares. I don't always like jump scares, but it fits. The Typhon were, there was great enemy variety. And I'm trying to think how many different kind of enemies we ran into, because the enemies have a similar array of strategies to us, right? You have some enemies that are sneaky and they hide, like the mimics and the poltergeists. You've got the phantoms, who are much more aggressive and in your face. You've got the like the telepaths and the technopaths, who use puppets, use things in the environment, whether that's humans for the telepaths or mechanized operators and turrets for the technopaths to do their damage for them. They're like puppeteers. And like the Weaver is kind of like it sends like mines out and runs and relocates and hides. Really cool enemy variety, and it kind of mirrored the strategies that we had ourselves, whether we were hiding like the mimics or running around with the shotgun like me, like more like one of the phantoms being really aggressive, or I don't know if you could maybe manipulate other things a bit more like a telepath or a technopath, but the enemy variety was good, and the nightmares as well being quite overbearing and bullish, and the story itself was fascinating. It was a really wild, it was not a wild ride, but just a really exciting ride. And we had lots of interesting side stories with characters about learning about their past, learning about their struggles, like Michaela with her illness, hiding that, her history with Morgan, about the questionable morals of Igwe, Danielle and the tragic kind of love story of her and Abigail dying at the hands of the imposter cook. And yeah, I really liked the alternate history and about the first contact with the Typhon back in the 60s and how that changed history. And I really liked all the kind of scientific philosophy that was in the game about about the use of neuromods, about how it kind of depreciates the skills of people earning their skills, right? And a lot of books that touched on these interesting points about about consciousness, about the morals of science, and all that good stuff. We had it all here. We really did have it all. Lots of interesting books. Lots of interesting side stories about the relationships between characters in the different divisions. We got like we learned about the whole kind of workspace ecosystem here, about rivalries between co-workers, about romantic relationships that had built up here, about the stresses of working on the station, about the kind of corrupt hierarchy, the covering up of secrets. There was a bit of corporate espionage in there, smuggling the neuromods maybe to a competitor. People trying to send medication back to their family, and loads of small little stories that were woven into the game, which I always think, smaller stories are always the more interesting thing generally for me in every game. But I think they did a good job of tying the big, save the world style element of the story to the characters and their personal journey. I suppose the only thing it's always wondering whether this is a criticism at the end of any game with a silent protagonist. But would we have gained a lot more from having a voiced protagonist? I know we obviously heard Morgan, but we only ever heard Morgan from the past, didn't we? We never heard Morgan in the present. So I always wonder, it's worth questioning about all games with silent protagonists, isn't it? But would it be a bit better if we had a voiced Morgan, maybe some dialogue choices, something like that, maybe? I'm not sure. I feel like I should have put 2 and 2 together with it. When Igwe said it in that flashback, that was clearly making it look like we were a Typhon. Because the thing that threw me off, I think, was Alex saying that the weaver nests, or the nests had kept like a log of all the psyches of the people he killed. So I wondered if we weren't seeing our own memory. It wasn't a memory at all, obviously. I just wondered if we were seeing someone else's, that had been experimented on and not Morgan's. That's what I think threw me off. I was thinking, oh, we could just be getting shown things from within that vast memory of the Typhon. But yeah, it's been a great experience, guys. I'm not going to say I'm glad it's over. I'm glad that the jump scares are over, because I just don't handle it well, man. That one with the etheric phantom in the Arboretum was the worst jump scare I have ever had in a game. Ever. There's been bad ones, but that was the worst one ever. That got me so bad. It got me so quickly. So in terms of like a horror game experience, like, I'm glad that that's over, but I'll miss the Talos one. I don't think I'm going to play the DLC on the channel. I might have a go and have a mess around with it in my own time, but I don't think I'm going to play it on the channel, because I think there's like a repetitive element to it, from what I understand. Now you'll have to let me know about that. But I've had a great time. Thanks for all your tips. Thanks for coming along on the journey. Thanks for discussions on the lore and everything. That's been great. I've had a really great time. I think one of the best things about starting a channel like this, a Let's Play channel, is maybe getting out of my comfort zone a bit with certain games, because I don't necessarily think I would have played this had it not been recommended, and I thought it might be interesting and all that stuff, And I think that that's one of the best parts of this, because you end up playing games that you might not have played otherwise, because I don't generally play first person anything that I might from afar class as like maybe a first person shooter, even if the story and everything looks really interesting. But I'm really glad that I played this. It's been a great experience. I always find that I don't always have as much to say in like the review discussion bits at the end of a playthrough when I've had a really good time, just because you've seen that I've had a good time in a way, whereas I feel like when I've not enjoyed a playthrough a bit more, I end up chatting on for ages. Do you know what I mean? But with this, it was beautiful. The characters were interesting. The story had lots of twists and turns, and the gameplay was just had layers upon layers, and was so interesting and so complex, but also intuitive. So yeah, it's been a great time in Prey, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below. I hope you've enjoyed my playthrough. Let me know any more recommendations for games. I've got playthroughs coming up in mind. I am going to be playing Disco Elysium, the final cut, when it comes out on the 30th. I don't know if I always get a bit unsure to play games at release, but the game's been out for ages, and technically it's just the updated version. I don't like playing stuff at release now, but it's technically not a release, it's a patch, isn't it? So I will be starting that. Whether I end up playing To the Moon and the sequel to the Moon in the meantime, I'm not too sure. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this series, guys. Just remember, everybody, never trust and uncrate. I'll see you in the next one.